Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, Travis. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, so I have two questions for you. I'll be really brief. First one is, I'm curious to hear your take on why Donna Brazile decided to come out with this now. I know she has a book coming out, but she's been pretty unrepentant about the whole CNN scandal up until this point, right? So, like, it seems weird that she's now trying to get in the good graces of the Bernie wing of the party. And my second question is, I'm in Virginia. We have a gubernatorial race coming up.
That's a hell
I
of a
was planning
race.
on voting, yeah, and I was planning on voting a straight Democratic ticket because the other, the other side of that is just pretty horrible.
Yeah.
What would you, in the wake of all of this, I mean, would you still say go ahead and do that? I mean, what would your advice be on that? I mean, I was already disillusioned with the party to begin with, and this is just, putting a nail in the coffin a little bit in some ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your name again?
Travis.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Travis. I'm going to answer that off air so I can clear up the lines. We cannot neglect the fact that these state races are just as important as a national race. And while this article, and I can answer your first question with this, this article to some seems to be confirmation that the DNC was corrupt and all these things, I see it in the exact opposite. I see a feckless leader who weakened. I think she may have intentionally weakened the DNC such that it was vulnerable to Hillary Clinton's every demand. That's what I see. I see that this would never have happened if Debbie Wasserman Schultz had not been in that position. She was appointed by Barack Obama. Obama should have got rid of her in 2012, between 2010 and 2012, when she threatened to accuse him of anti-Semitism and sexism because he considered getting rid of her. And so she was going to pull the anti-Semitism card and the sexism card, but he didn't get rid of her, and that's his fault. And now she's left in charge, and she corroded away the infrastructure of the party. She ran up the bill of the party such that it was bankrupt, and it was nobody's fault but hers and Hillary Clinton's. And to be truthful, Barack Obama has some blame on that because he had consultants on the payroll too. And so the fact that Donna Brazile is exposing this from an insider perspective means a lot, and which is why I say she's bae for at least the next 48 hours, is because she's going to take it on the chin because she was willing to expose this. I honestly do not care what her motivations are, right? The only motivation I'm interested in is that she's extending this as an olive branch to people who felt that this was happening the entire time. I'm not going to buy her book. I mean, most Bernie Sanders supporters, no matter what she does, they're not going to go out and buy her book. So I don't think that she's doing this for book sales. Unless y'all are just going to go out there and buy a book. I'm not going to buy her book. Somebody tell me about it, right? Send me the review, and then I'll talk about the review like I actually read the book. I'm not buying the book. I mean, maybe her publisher will send it to me, Hatchet Book Group. Okay, fine. Maybe they'll send it to me. I'll read it. But I don't think she did it for book sales, right? Because she got her royalty from the books. Right. And if you're saying she's doing it to try to get in the good graces of Bernie Sanders supporters, that's exactly why she should do it. That's exactly the reason to do it, because some of us can't take yes for an answer. Right. When people say, OK, you know what, guys, I got in there and I found out it was corrupt. So I hate to do this, but I got to write this article. It was corrupt as shit. And then people are sitting back like, oh, you're only doing that because but she did it. I mean, what do you want her to do? I think sometimes Bernie Sanders supporters and progressives in general, you want people to have like a literal come to Jesus moment where they're like, oh, glory. I've seen the light. Oh, I've seen the progressive light and it's shining so bright. Forgive me. Like, do you want her to have a Jimmy Swagger moment? Like, oh, I've sinned against God and I've sinned against you. I mean, what do y'all want her to do? She's literally put herself on the outs with Hillary Clinton. She's definitely put herself on the outs with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And she's definitely put herself on the outs with Barack Obama, also that she could confirm what you already believe. I mean, I think that's enough. Personally. I'm just saying. So whatever her intentions are, the end result is that we're getting information from the inside, from somebody who actually looked at the damn books to confirm what we saw in the WikiLeaks or the Guccifer leaks. Same difference. Oh no, can't spill that. Oh no. And we're seeing it from the inside. And I don't think that we can ask for anything more. I don't think we can. I don't think we should ask for anything. I think it's irresponsible. I think we would be as childish as the Hillary Clinton supporters who are like, no, 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 boo, boo. You know, it's extremely childish to still have that a chip on our shoulder because we don't think her motivations behind this were pure. That's such a. I don't operate there. Right. I could probably think of 100 ways to insult people who operate there, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't operate there. It's enough. It's quite enough for her to take it on the chin and put this out there. I'm good. You know, as far as her cheating on, she's probably uber embarrassed that she got caught. I mean, I think some of us, and it's moving away from politics for a second, just give me 30 seconds to move away from politics and talk about life. I think some of us expect more out of people than we would expect out of ourselves. If we were embarrassed on a national level, lost our job with CNN, lost a huge paycheck, and all because we went to help somebody that we wanted to become president. I mean, what's wrong with you wanting Hillary Clinton to become president? Oh, because she's a supervillain. Kiss my ass. Come on, man. She's no more of a super. I mean, come on. Seriously, she was a candidate that you didn't like, that you didn't agree with. You didn't like her politics, but she was not the devil. And I think a lot of people have crafted Hillary Clinton like the literal campaign ads being run by Russians where she's dressed up like the devil. And I think people have really bought into this idea that Hillary Clinton was Satan. If you're watching me and you believe Hillary Clinton was Satan, you shouldn't be watching me. Like, not because you think that, but because you think irrationally. So I think a lot of people have built this animosity up towards the DNC, such in Hillary Clinton and Donna Brazile, such that we are expecting them to behave in ways that we would not behave. How many of us would readily come out and knowing that we did something wrong, but just readily confess it to all of America and not try to save face? I mean, it's a natural inclination for you to want to save face. So the fact that she tried to save as much face as she could with the CNN question thing, that doesn't surprise me, because I do the same thing. Come on. I mean, and if you don't think that you would do the same thing, then, you know, you sound like some preachers I know who say that they don't have sex outside of their marriage. Let's just be real for a few minutes. So all that to say, I don't know her motivations. All I know is that I'm glad that she did it. I'm glad that she did it, because to me, this represents an opportunity. This is like her extending an olive branch. This is an opportunity for conciliation, for us to reconcile, for us to move forward. Because until the Green Party gets their shit together, or maybe the Democratic Socialist comes around the corner with some real viable options, but without a viable option, we don't have time. We do not have time to play there's no such thing as a lesser evil. If you still think that there's no such thing as a lesser evil after all that Donald Trump has, attempted to do, and only he couldn't do it because he's so feckless. But if he was competent, like Mike Pence probably would be competent, then we would have had, I mean, think about everything. We would have 25 million people without health care. We would have had transgender people not being able to serve in the military. We would have, look at everything that Jeff Sessions is trying to do in the Department of Justice. I mean, literally, look at everything that he's trying to do. We're going to have the deepest tax cuts since Ronald Reagan, basically just relinquishing all responsibility of the top 1% and the corporations to have any responsibility to the maintenance of the society from which they derive all of their wealth. I mean, if you don't believe in the lesser evil at this point, after everything Donald Trump has tried to do, you're fooling yourself. And I think you're fooling yourself for political reasons. I think you're trying to be opportunistic and build your following. I think you're being opportunistic and trying to build your party, and you're building it on this notion that's costing the lives. And I mean, it will literally cost the lives of people who no longer have access to health care. When there is a viable option. Now, and listen here. Okay, Ben, well, why don't you help there become? Because I mean, I'm not that powerful, but here you go. This is how you can help. Go to your local meetings. Go to your local Green Party meetings. Go to your local Democratic Socialist meetings. If you're serious about getting that third, fourth party started, then by all means, get out there and go. But don't knock on the people who are saying we've got to be ready to at least, at a minimum, even if Democrats don't win the White House in 2020, we sure as hell got to help them win back at least one house of Congress. Senate or the House. I don't care which. Take your pick. It's got to be one or the other, because we cannot allow another 7 years of Donald Trump having a completely unified government at his disposal. And if you're comfortable with that, and you're comfortable with that because you don't want to ever do anything to help the Democrats out, then you are useless to society as a whole. Go into your corner, go into your, conspiracy theorist left and dumb left circle jerk corner. You guys go over there and just, make yourselves feel good because you're pure. I think I need to do a couple more horror episodes, because, it's got to be, the next one is going to be somebody who's trying to get a stain off their arm. Like, it's just never clean enough. It's not clean enough. It's not clean enough. God damn it. It's not clean. I can't get it to go away. And that's the purist, right? Somebody who scrapes their skin down to the bone because it was never clean enough for them. It was never pure enough. Meanwhile, they're destroying themselves and they're destroying the people around them. That's my next political horror story.